Hey now, and welcome to Devolution of Power, Unit 5, Part 2. And in this video, we're going to look at this essential question: how did absolutism differ with respect to the major powers of Europe? To understand the degree to which absolutism was practiced in various European states, we must first look to, not geography.
Yes, well!
No, we must look to political organization. In France, most peasants were free, and they had a strong middle class. This meant that the nobles were relatively weak, leading to France being dominated by absolutism. In Austria and Prussia, the peasants were mostly serfs, bound to the land they worked on, and since there was no strong middle class, the monarchs relied on powerful nobles to collect the taxes and staff the armies. So these countries displayed a mixture of absolutism and aristocracy. Now, the Austrian Habsburgs ruled over a multinational state. In 1683, they defended their capital, Vienna, against the Turks, and then drove them out of Hungary by the end of the 1600s, making them even more diverse. Even though the Habsburgs sought to become absolute monarchs, they allowed the different regions to retain their own laws and customs, so you could say their power was checked by regionalism. In Prussia, the Hohenzollerns acquired a multinational and fragmented empire in northern Europe. In the 1640s, the King of Prussia made a deal with his nobles, the Junkers. That is, if they would provide loyal military service to him, they would be exempt from taxes and could completely rule over their peasants. The Junkers recruited tall, imposing soldiers, and by 1688, they had a powerful 40,000-man army. The Junkers willingly granted the Hohenzollerns extensive political authority, but they were indeed checked due to the power of the military. In England, the monarchs attempted to become as absolute as they had in France, Austria, and in Prussia. However, they would become the least successful of all. They were checked by Parliament, a legislature dating back to the medieval times containing a House of Lords made up of the aristocracy and a House of Commons representing wealthy commoners. Due to mercantilism and a massive increase in trade, the House of Commons eventually grew to hold the most power in England. To explain how this happened, we begin with Charles I, who ruled from 1625 to 1649. He attempted to govern through total absolutism, and this would end badly for him. He attempted to pass laws and levy taxes without consulting Parliament. In turn, the members of Parliament drew up the Petition of Right. This document limited the king's authority by stating the people possess certain rights. For example, the monarch could not tax without Parliament's consent, or imprison people without due process, or quarter troops in people's homes. If any of this sounds familiar, these laws would eventually find their way into the United States Bill of Rights. Nonetheless, Charles I and Parliament were deadlocked. So from 1629 to 1640, he ruled without any parliament of any kind, in what the English called the 11 Years' Tyranny. This led to revolts and would eventually plunge England into a bloody conflict. The English Civil War pit the Cavaliers, or the king's supporters, against the Roundheads, or parliamentary forces allied with the Scots. They were called Roundheads because the soldiers were mostly Puritans who cut their hair short, hence the Roundheads. Oliver Cromwell led a Puritan revolution after Charles I had surrendered. He and his supporters charged and beheaded the king in 1649. Cromwell eventually dismissed Parliament, becoming a dictator under the title Lord Protector. Under his puritanical rule, he outlawed dances, drinking, theater, and other things the Puritans found objectionable. By the time of his death in 1658, Anglicans and Catholics alike despised his autocratic rule. By popular support, the monarchy was restored under the Stuart dynasty. However, after a king attempted to rule absolutely, Parliament organized the short and relatively bloodless Glorious Revolution in 1688. Parliamentary leaders invited William and Mary of Orange to assume power and had them sign the English Bill of Rights, guaranteeing many civil liberties to the people. As time progressed, the highest office in the House of Commons, the Prime Minister, increasingly became the most powerful executive, surpassing the authority of the monarchy.
How dare you talk to me like that? You should tell me everything.
I can't talk right now.
Why, Lisa? Why, Lisa? Please talk to me, please. You're part of my life. You are everything. I could not go on without you, Lisa.
You're scaring me.
You are lying. I never hit you. You are tearing me apart, Lisa.